Thursday Night Football telecast. We got the first commercial break of the game. We're going to run through. I had a big fancy scene worked out. We were ready to go. And let me tell you, that just did not work out. Did not work out. We're going to work through what we got going tonight. I'm going to put some graphics up. It's going to be electric. What I have for this game right now, I have the first half under 20.5. I have a Trey Benson touchdown. I got Jackson Smith and Jigba over 80 yards. Always take primetime field goals, so I got over 3.5 field goals. We're going to get those up on the side of the board here. And we're really going to have a great time. Thank you for joining, of course. Oh, I like what we got going on there. This is much better. Much better. Get Kenneth Walker absolutely bursting here. Absolutely having the time of his life on the outside. That was a screen. I'm going to get my bets up on the screen so we can track them live here. We're going to go till the end of the first half, but what we're going to run through is we're going to give you the pre-snap picks for the week during every commercial. So we'll kind of talk about the game. Maybe I'll do some fake play-by-play. There's Jackson Smith and Jigba. One catch, should have taken catches instead of yardage. Yardage is going to be a challenge. He's got 1 yard now on 1 carry. All right, here's officially what I got going on. I got a wacky parlay that does rely quite a bit on the first half under coming through. And then I got the boys here to score some touchdowns. Put them up on the screen. Can I get them to the iPhone? And then we're going to run through all the good stuff that we got working at PreSnap. Like we mentioned last week, so far in the season we are 34-13. We love that. The reason it's not even is we did take out, obviously if there were games where we had quarterbacks if this is an IKEA, I think it's a Wayfair little couch. We're chilling, just living the dream. Got the flags up, get the putting green. Maybe we'll roll some putts later if we're really getting into it. Sam Darnold just ripping. Torrey Horton, thought about taking some Torrey Horton parlay action. Should have, definitely should have, but I didn't. There goes my phone. Now it's a remote. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Okay. Oh yeah, now we got what we need. Now we got what we need. Alright, we're rolling. Can I get some cool little trackers going? Had a great little scene planned out. Everything was awesome. And my computer did not want to cooperate tonight, which was great timing. It's the first time here that we're running it. This game is a weird game. So we have 21-19 Seattle. So if you haven't got your bet in, it's still 0-0. I personally, like I mentioned, I have the first half under. I have that and a parlay with a whole bunch of other stuff that we need to get in the quiver, man. Gotta make it happen. Gotta make it happen. Can I get it up here? Oh, we got some folks in the chat. Let's get the putting mat in the picture. You want to see the man cave here? So we got the TV, nice and mounted. Can't show it for copyrights. We got the putting green. Every time one of our boys gets a touchdown, we'll roll some putts. How about that? We'll make it work. I think we could even flip it around and just putt our commercials. Oh, man. We could get in the lab. Look at that. I don't know if I can give out the free foot picks, though. That might be too expensive. I might be in the wrong business there. All right. Let's get these bets up on the screen here. I don't need an iCloud link. Oh, it's too many things. I'm going to tell you what. I'm a big Apple guy. All right? I'm actually streaming off the iPad right now because I was so mad at my computer. But with that frustration comes time for contemplation, right? And they make it too hard now. They used to be the reason you go with Apple was because it was easy, it was clean, it was easy to get from one place to another, and they've just made it too hard. The fact that I can't How's everybody doing? How we doing in the chat? We got a PreSnap Pro user in here who wants some serious cash with a parlay and also won some of the boys some serious cash last week. So shout out DT there. This is not my natural habitat. All right, we got one. We got the Lays. Love it. Keep those live tracking. I wish I was smart enough to figure out how to get the live stats in here, because that would look pretty clean if we could get the live tracker. Perfect. We'll get that going. We'll get your pre-snap picks up here too. Add another layer. I spent about an hour and a half earlier building this scene. And as you can tell, we don't have that going on. Here's what we got for Seahawks and Cardinals tonight on PreSnap. Right there. And then as we go on tonight, we're going to add in all of our picks for the week. So, like I said, Zach Charbonnet touchdown would be great. Trey Benson touchdown would be great. Jackson Smith and Jigba receiving yards, go Buckeyes. Kenneth Walker rushing attempts. I got Kenneth Walker walking attempts in both parlays here. Got a lot of rushing attempts in here. Trey Benson, Zach Charbonnet. We need the boys to show up here. I think we just got an interception. I think he dropped it. Kobe Bryant. What happened? Ball's out. Ball is definitely out. I think YouTube is the place to be. Twitter might be the place to be. Might have some folks on the Bird app there. But let's see what we got going on. I'm gonna move these over a little bit. First off, if you're not using PreSnap, how are you here? Because you're probably one of my friends if you're here. But you're leaving serious potential on the table here. 34-13 start the season. Only 6 losses in the first 2 weeks. Everybody got killed last week. Everybody. You didn't get killed, us. 500. Pick the right spots. You just got to know what you got to know. You got to know what you got to know when you got to know it. You know what I mean? So, I'm sweating out the first half under here with the rest of you here. I have that separately. Don't need to put that on the screen. We don't need to really identify what's going there. We can make a live parlay. We can get the chat lay going. I haven't been in the group chat. Been a little busy. Had a wild bath time tonight with the youngin'. And had quite the hunt for my wife's Oura ring that disappeared. And ended up, my hand's still purple, going in, a little spot of the seatbelt where the clicker goes in. Like the little, I guess you'd say the female end of the seatbelt. Had to dig in there, pull it out. Here, like, oops, I did it again, the end. Went in the water and got it for you. That's what I did. That's what you get here on the Tully cast. That's just how we do it. That's how we do it. What are they going to say? We have Seattle fumble and a call on the field stands. So this dude just picked the ball off and fumbled. What do we think about the guy being named Kobe Bryant wearing number 8? Is that cool? I tell you what, doing this celebration after you fumble is tough. He might be more of like a Robert Horry. He might have to change his name to Robert Horry. All right. The Cardinals always have the matching jersey and pants. Trey Benson, go to the house. Trey Benson, 10 yards. All right. We need Trey Benson to get like 4 yards of carry because then they'll keep giving him the ball. We need to feed it, see where it's going. Yeah, I totally agree. 24, if you're going to be Kobe Bryant, 24 is a better DB number. 8's a good quarterback number, like Aikman. But there hasn't been a lot of good number 8s. Like, you wouldn't say Kirk Cousins was an exceptional 8, especially with these new look jerseys. Like the Seahawks jerseys, in theory, are really cool. I got for Christmas one year. You remember that ugly, like, nasty lime green one they had? I had that one. DeMarcus Lawrence making a tackle. Cowboys should have paid him. They didn't pay him because they thought Micah was going to be there. That was stupid. Speaking of Micah, we'll get into that game. We don't need algorithms to tell you what's going to happen, but it's going to be bad. Deron Bland and Diggs are going to play, so that could limit what's going on with Packers offense, but not a good game. I don't know what would make me feel better. Like, if they beat the Bears, I still think this would have been bad. But just getting thrashed by the Bears, worst case scenario. Worst case scenario. I mean, I know we got some Bears fans in the chat, but I'm not sure that's a good football team. In fact, I'm borderline certain that's not a good football team. And I don't love how that game went. I didn't love it. I didn't love it at all. All right, we got Kyler. Little flip to, is that the Dortch? The Dortch or Chamber. Leonard Williams still doing it. Wow. Leonard Williams just ragdoll a 320-pound man. Would have liked him. That's a good player. Get on your squad. Really could have used him. All right, coming up, we need the score here. On the Manning cast, they do pick a player. Obviously, we have to pick Trey Benson to score here, right? That would really settle us in here. What are our live stats? If I could figure out how to get the ESPN live game tracker up, that would be awesome. But I'll pull it up myself. Then we'll get the pre-snap bets going. Ooh, it's a little too much. I don't know if I like these jerseys. I like the end zones. The end zones look sick. But why wouldn't they go with, like, the old school with that, like, Arizona flag look? I don't get the sand. Like, it looks like it's the Rams. It's the same kind of color as the ugly Rams ones. If they had red pants, I think they'd be better. But they're bad jerseys. The helmets are sick. Like, I like the whole Desert Storm thing they got going on. All right, we need a field goal here because Trey Benson's not on the field. It's DeMercado. Kyler back. They got a whistle. Give me a false start. Actually, give me an offsides. False start. Okay. So now we really need a stop here. For that first half under. Jonah Williams, former Bengal. Alabama. Bro, that is not a false start. Refs are so bad. Like, do you ever think about the amount of lives that refs have ruined? All right, we could get a Marv TD. That's what we need. First TD. It does look like a Vice golf ball. Like those ugly. My dad likes the Vice, though. He does enjoy the Vice. All right, what do we got? The end zones look awesome. They should never change them back. Dorcher. All right, they're going to kick the field goal. Have to kick the field goal, right? Yep, kicking. All right. So this is a great situation. I love taking first half unders. I love taking primetime field goals. Both look pretty strong. We had the number here, as you can see. We had 21-19 for this game. And then we'll run through what we got going on. Ryland, this guy was with the Patriots? Is that an offsides or a delay game? They get more room. These kickers can't kick it close anymore. They don't kick inside the 10. The extra point is 1,000 yards. And I like the kickoff. I think the kickoff's great. But the thing about the kickoff is you can't really have a kickoff like return specialist anymore. Because if you have one guy, the Cowboys have one guy, and he never catches the ball because they try to let Turpin get it, and it makes absolutely no sense. So we got a 32-yard field goal. I think I would wear the headband like Kyler if I was Kyler. I think that's a cool look. A 4th and 8, 32-yarder. It's going to be easy. We're going to have one field goal on the night. Only need 3 more. Good night to not bet field goal yardage or just bet field goals. Marv first TD. Tyler, what if we get that first TV like the first drive, the second half, though? We go into half at 12-0, 6-6. 3-0. Good start here. All right, we got a commercial break. So we're going to break into our first couple games of the weekend. We're going to start with the Vikings and the Steelers in Dublin. I tried to do an Irish accent today on the PreSnap preview, and let's just say it went bad. It went real bad. Our pick in this game is actually no pick at all. We have, and this is Pro, by the way. If you're on the Tully Cast, you're getting access to PreSnap Pro. Will it reverse? It will. So what we need to do is get that going. I'm going to text it to my man here in the chat. And we're going to fire it up. Yeah, you got Carson Wentz. You have a bad offense and defense. Like, Pittsburgh's just bad because the Patriots are not good, and they barely got through. Let's move this one over. I was trying to get the chat to overlay it, but get that there. Trying to cover up that big ugly on my ceiling. This is a rental. I don't own it, so I did not do whatever water damage is hanging around up there on the top. But what do we got? All right. Steelers-Vikings. Speaking of Sam Darnold, who's back out in the field here. 22-22 is what we got. The Dublin setup is going to be weird. The field's probably going to suck. Useless pass to Nwosu. Is that who 18 is for Seattle? If the Seattle pass doesn't go to Jackson Smith and Jigba or to Zach Charbonnet for a touchdown, it does not matter. We need runs and we need production. But we don't need production. We don't need points. We need production. We need this to look like the Cowboys offense. Every 100 yards you get 3 points instead of the Parcells way. We got Kenneth Walker back there. He's got a couple carries. We could definitely use some more. That's a carry. Go to the house. Kenneth Walker was so good in college in Michigan State. Such a big fan of his. Love the way he runs. Love Michigan State running backs. Love Le'Veon Bell in college. Absolute monster. So Vikings-Steelers, like I said, averages 22-22 is what we have for the projection of the game. If you want to take some bands, you could go Steelers 17-27 and Vikings 17-29. Or you could take them both 17-27. You get right in that pocket there. 16.5 to 27.5 is probably better. Get some plus money. We know we're going to be pretty close with the score here, but this could go either way, right? It's almost a 50-50 win probability. We've seen those games, obviously, they're 50-50. They do go either way. So, oh man, I really wish we took a Kenneth Walker yards because he's chalking it up right now. And I have not seen Charbonnet at all. I do not think he's getting 10 carries. I think we can wipe that one off the board already. But that's why we take the $5 parlay. Get the boost. By the way, if you did not yet, I'm going to give you a parlay at the end of the show for roadmap picks. But you can see here, this says qualifying bet. That's a qualifier for the ghost leg. If you do a $20 same-game parlay, you're going to get a qualifier for the ghost leg parlay. Kenneth Walker is such a stud. Can't get over it. Can we get the next game in Commanders-Falcons before Kenneth Walker scores his touchdown? We'd be halfway to that 20.5 number, safely under it. But, towards the end of the half, usually get 3 to 7 points in the final 4 minutes of the half. Darnold's looking deep. Get him. Threw it right into the turf. Love to see it. Love to see it. Get us another field goal. The next game on the slate, Commanders at Falcons. I don't think it matters whether Jaden Daniel plays. We have taken the asterisk off this game. We've taken the warning away. Mariota beat the Falcons last year. Commanders are better this year than they were last year. You have to remember, the Commanders went to the NFC Championship, but they were not a very good team throughout the season. They lost to Cooper Rush. And they should have lost by 3 touchdowns, but they got pretty wacky and pretty lucky late. Darnold, that was a false start, left tackle. Cooper Kupp. I like the way Cooper Kupp runs. I like it a lot. All right, we got 2 minutes here. We can get to the end of the first quarter at 3-0. I think we're in a really good place here. Because then we would need a touchdown each, or 2 touchdowns and a field goal. That 67 was so early on that snap. So early. All right, should I red zone it here? Just like the old days. All right, Darnold. Got Charbonnet in the backfield, dropping back, looking left, has a man wide, goddamn open. Touchdown. Barner, Michigan, Wolverine. Basically a worst case scenario there, except for the Seahawks. We do have the Seahawks winning this game. So if we get we get 2 more Seahawks touchdowns and Falcons touchdown and 3 field goals. Or Cardinals touchdown, 3 field goals, we nailed this game. Basically tracking exactly how we thought. I don't remember this guy Barner at Michigan at all. He kind of looks like a dork. All right, touchdown scored. We're at 10 points. We need to get out of this quarter without any more points. And then we need, a red zone failure to probably hang on to this. I like the first half under. I saw a stat today about Jonathan Gannon. We have the total game under. Usually these Thursday night games get a little wacky late. That's why I went with it. But it was a nice ball from Darnold. The guy was wide open. Cooper Kupp's hair. Bad. That's like backup D-midi lacrosse hair. What we got going there? Yeah, if you had Barner first touchdown, tip your cap. But the problem is you probably had everybody if you had Barner. There's definitely nobody in America who went into this game and was like Barner scoring the first touchdown. I don't even think he's their number one tight end. By the way, maybe a little Brevin Spanford sprinkle on Sunday Night Football. Had a great run with Joe Milton. They got a call back. All right. Commercial. We'll do a game. Commanders, Falcons. 28-25 is our final. We have the Commanders winning that game. This is one where I like if you're going to pick a correct score, round robin some correct scores. 28-24. We have that projection. We have the Falcons at 24.6 points, which rounds up to 25. You could get the bands at Commanders 23 to 33.5. Probably would take it up to 35.5. Be like a little bit less than even money. And Falcons, you could get 20 to 30, right? Clean 10-point band or 21 to 30. Falcons looked terrible last week. I had the Falcons in parlay or two, teaser, just terrible. Never had a chance in that game. The Carolina Panthers absolutely steamrolled them. You hate to see that. You kind of thought the Falcons were figuring it out, but after that, and you gave like the Sunday Night Football, like the Falcons, Brian Flores, good defense, and that's why I want to lean Vikings in that Steelers game. Aaron Rodgers, he has that whole like moon landing time clock thing where he doesn't play well at night because of his circadian rhythm. Have to imagine that messes him up in Dublin. Never been to Dublin, would love to go. Try to get the boys to go see Springsteen there when we were in London, but couldn't rally the troops. Pick for Commanders Falcons, take the over. The line is 44.5 right now. We have 53 points projected, more like 54. It's 53.5 with both teams' numbers. Commanders 60% winning probability, 59.3, so that's on the higher end of our like low confidence interval. It's I would say a 1.5 star pick. For PreSnap, I will have the Commanders in a couple collisions this week. But like I said, I'm going to go out here and talk about, I have this, I have that. I'm making bets like this. I'm maybe betting 4 or 5 parlays at these types of units, right? That's a long shot unit, and that's a regular kind of tuck there. So bet responsibly, bet within your means, but bet with PreSnap, and then you can get aggressive if you want to once you start winning. Kickoff back to the 26, but like same thing. Like I like that the kickoffs happen. I like the way it works, but they should let people punt it. Like you should be able to punt the kickoff. I like what the Carolina guys do, hitting the knuckleballs. That's pretty sweet. I think teams might even bring on like guys that do the specialty kick like that if they can do the knuckleball. Because I don't want Brandon Aubrey messing up his leg trying to kick knuckleballs. It's like a 12-year-old throwing curveballs. Like, it's not good for your arm long term. You can't. Sticker came with the hat. That's why it's the same. I didn't buy it, but yeah, we got 52.8 for that projected. Take the over, take the Commanders. Maybe even tease that over. That's a lock if you tease that over. Another Trey Benson carry. I like Trey Benson, Florida State. Would have liked him on the Cowboys. Would have liked a lot of guys on the Cowboys. Very happy with Javonte Williams. But, like, Scatterboo, would have loved him. We're going to get comfortable here. We're going to get comfortable watching Thursday Night Football. What can we do? I got the slant board going. If we're sweating this out, I'm going to sweat it out on the slant board in the second half. So get excited. Next week, we're going to have some guests. And they're not going to be like actors you don't want to hear from, like Jeff Goodman in the Lions game last week. Kyle got sacked. That's huge. That's going to get us to the second quarter without 20 points, or without more than 10 points, which is great. 33 seconds. Benson. Oh, and Wos is a defensive end, not a tight end. I messed that up, all right? I didn't do my game sheet this week. Yikes. They try to do that, like, guard pull protection. Unless you have, like, Tyler Smith or one of these elite guards, I mean, Ted Karras used to be a guy, but I don't know about that. Cardinals, did they take a timeout? Seahawks took a timeout. All right. That's going to be a pre-quarter commercial. So we'll go Saints-Bills. Saints-Bills, we have this one the same as Vegas. We have 30-20. If you think the Saints can score 20 points against the Bills, that's what our computer thinks. 16.5 is the spread, so that would be Saints. Definitely like the over in this game.
think Vegas is leaning towards the Saints just getting blown out and the Bills slowing it down. But the Bills are awesome. The Bills at home don't really kind of take their foot off the gas, especially this year. Last year at Ralph Wilson Stadium, I think they're going to pound them. But we have 10 points, so you can tease that down. Not really any value to put that in your money line parlays. Like maybe you go to 5.5, get him at like minus 220, 230. Kyler's rolling out to the right, 6 seconds here, and he's going to run out of bounds. But the clock should run at the ref's whistle, so that should be first quarter, and they're going to punt. Awesome. So we get him pinned deep here. We get a punt. We like how that first half under's going. I'm not sure it's going to matter in this parlay, though, because where are we at with the rushes so far? I'm just getting comfortable here, guys. I'm just getting comfortable.
Can we do the zoom? Oh. There we go. That's not enough zoomage. We need a little zoomage. I need some zoomage on the chat. I can't figure out how to get the chat. Oh, yeah, I was going the wrong way. That's why. There we go. How do I get that bigger? Oh boy. All right, what's the chat say? What do we got? We got Medea in the chat. It is, right? Think about that one kid who you thought was going to make it in your league. I knew this kid, Mark, once, who hit a walk-off triple once in Legion 13U baseball. And they said he could have been one of the all-time greats, but he threw a curveball playing wiffle ball when he was younger. And ever since then, everything's gone different. He started a band. He had an extra grill. All right, let's see where we're at right now. Live total 43.5, so that is exactly what they expected here. In this game, carries we're doing okay. We got 5 for Walker, 2 for Kyler, 3 for Benson, 1 for Charbonnet. That's definitely toast. Definitely toast. Quick little note on PreSnap. If you've been looking at it and you see that we have ties, that's the score projections are more like power rankings for the teams, right? If you think about that, you can look outside of the matchups and kind of rank the weekly projections. We do weight them against the defense that they're playing and weight a little heavier to their last performance in a certain setup. But like a game like that, 22-22, there's not a home team, so there's no kind of slide there. It's a 2.5-point spread for Vegas. So if anything, that might be a Steelers pick, right? Because we have the Steelers a little hotter than the Vikings there, not needing the 2.5 to cover. It sucks that if you play an international game, you lose a home game, though, because the Steelers would get 9 home games if they didn't have to play there. We'll go to another pick. So Bills 30-20, what we got, 16.5 is ugly. Bills did not cover the last time they were this big of a favorite. Nice little camera shot here. But if you haven't been to State Farm Stadium in Glendale, you gotta go. My boy DT and I had one of our worst experiences ever there in the Fiesta Bowl, 31-0. Buckeyes got smoked. Spent New Year's Eve at a La Quinta Inn somewhere in Glendale. DeMarcus Lawrence is hurt. What else is new? Nice little crafty punt there. Yeah, he could have been a legend, man. He could have been somebody. He is somebody. He's a great guy. That's all you need in this life. Lions-Browns. Lions-Browns, another big spread. We're pretty close to Vegas here. We have 29-19. So maybe you get that Lions team total over 27.5. 80% probability here. So that's a good survivor pick, right? Bills is a good survivor pick. Lions is a good survivor pick this week. Don't see the Browns beating 2 NFC North teams in a row. Definitely don't see the Packers losing 2 games in a row, unfortunately for me. 47.5 or 48 projected points for this one, so I think that's going to touch the over just barely. If you want to do a total range, something I've been doing is taking these total bands and getting like a 20-point range. So it's going to go over 39, under 58, which is the same as betting the over-under, but it's a different gap, right? Instead of betting just that one number, we're betting that we're going to get to that point, which 38, like the Lions go 38 against themselves, but the Browns, they play some of those ugly, sloppy games. Charbonnet carry, love it.
You know what? Let's get the card up on the screen here. Let's get the card for the week here. And we'll talk through the picks as we do it. I'll give you the background on it, but we're going to give you a look at the board. All right, thank you. Okay. The image. And we are good to go. There's our week 4 board. Little sneak preview. If you're using the PreSnap app, we got our picks right there. Those are the winners for every game. So we've gone over tonight's game. We like Seattle. We've gone over Minnesota and Pittsburgh. We have that projected as a tie, but slightly win probability favors Minnesota. And then we've gone through the Commanders, the Bills, and the Lions. Not a lot of close games this week. We do have a couple upsets. Carolina at New England. Probably a touch weighted from their performance last week. I had Chipotle for dinner, so I apologize for the burps. I want to bring up a bone I have to pick. That sack is huge. The Chipotle app. I get Chipotle a lot. I get Chipotle at the office. I get Chipotle at home. When I order Chipotle to go, the amount of times I order it to the right restaurant versus the wrong restaurant it's the wrong restaurant 65% of the time. I don't know why they don't have some kind of like, when you hit checkout, they're like, do you want to order at this Chipotle? Confirm. It would probably save them, because every time it happens, I send the receipt at the new Chipotle, and they hook me up with a refund. But they're wasting Chipotle. Kenneth Walker, give up run. We love it. Get a punt, get another nothing drive out of the Cardinals, and we'll be good to go. We'll be good to go. What do we got? Kyler. All right, next game down the board. We're going to get a commercial break after this punt. Tennessee and Houston. Nobody's going to watch this game. Nobody's going to watch this game. It's a bet it and forget it. We have the same line as Vegas. We have 6. I think they have 6.5. Houston kind of in a get-right spot. We have a 78.6% win probability. This is a pick I like in your parlay. Titans are a disaster right now. Changing play call. Our coach is going to get fired. Tackle this guy. All right, George down to 27. He's angry. Couple Trey Benson carries here would be nice. Definitely would be nice. Don't love these Amazon graphics. Like, what the hell was that? They're trying too hard. Also, does anybody think it's weird? So Bezos married Tony Gonzalez's ex-wife, and he's on the Prime show. And they like hang out in the yacht and all that. Like, that's cool, but it's a little weird to me. Saw a clip today. He used to go out with Sofia Vergara. Gloria. All right, 22-16, Houston over Tennessee. 78.6% winning probability. Our projected total, 38.5. That's low. Low. The line for that game, I believe, is 43.5. Tease that up to 50. You see 50 points between these two teams? I sure don't. I like that. And that's kind of where we are with PreSnap is, we have a really high confidence level that they're going to score X amount of points or in the window of X amount of points. So the way that I've been winning with PreSnap, and we've had people who've been doing regular money line things like that, but I've been taking the point projections and building bands off of those, whether it's the overs, whether it's the spreads, anything like that, because I know we're going to be pretty accurate around where Vegas is. We're basically betting that Vegas is going to be right. So instead of betting the spread, we're betting where it's going to land in that margin of victory or in the total, anything like that. The line for that slop fest is 38.5. So we're pretty spot on that game. The line for the game has moved to 7. I don't like anything about that game. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to bet it. I don't want anything to do with it. So I'm going to stay away from that one. We are picking Houston. Our next game, hometown game, Carolina at New England. 24-23 is the final projection. 55% probability of winning for the Panthers. Now, we've had with the win probability, if you're a pro user, the 70 pluses are like the go-go-goes. 60 pluses are strong if you have a lean, if you like one of the teams, go for it. The 50 to 60 range was what we found looking through the data, and this is a Tully Cast exclusive. Those games, if there's a dog with a lot of value, like Monday night, we had the Lions-Ravens in this window. But if we have win probability around 55%, and you're getting plus 200, plus 320 juice, like, fire away. If you did that last week, you would have about $500 if you on a $100 better playing that strategy. So this game, Carolina is a plus 185 dog. If you need a plus money bet to throw in the parlay to juice it up, Benson, Carey, we love it. Love it. A little too good. I like how that one's tracking. We need Charbonnet to get some carries. We need Kenneth to get like 13 carries and a touchdown and then like a hamstring. Trey Benson looks like a big dude, but when he stands next to Kyler Murray, he does not. Kyler Murray just threw it to me. I don't get what's up with Marvin Harrison, man. Those helmets are so sweet. The jerseys stink. Definitely looks like a Vice golf ball. That was a good call out there. The helmets are awesome. And man, they just did not know. That's got to be on Marvin Harrison, though, because it looked like the corner and inside leverage. And he's got to know to break there on a 2nd and 2. Cardinals will go for 3 on 3rd tonight. Quick pass to Michael Wilson. Yeah, Michael Wilson. They're at the 40. So a long drive here is awesome, right? 5 yards a clip. End it with a field goal. We're in great shape. Touchdown puts us in some Dutch because then we need Seattle to not score a touchdown. Kyler underneath to Benson. Witherspoon had a hell of a time tackling him, but he did get him down. Jacoby Brissett still in the league, back up. Good to see. We love that. We love that. These jerseys look so bad, especially as they get dirty. Like, I don't get it. Why not go all like Desert Storm, kind of that like tan look? Batted down at the line. It's got to be so frustrating when you're like a short quarterback. I was never allowed to throw as a quarterback, so I can't really tell you what that was like. More of a QB sneak guy. Marvin Harrison, like, it's gotta be. He was so good in college, and I'm sure he's like still got it. There's some weird stuff going on there. Oh, they didn't know the snap was coming. That was a total mess. Okay. First down, just over the line. That was such a mess. If I said I love the Cardinals helmets, my God, they're beautiful. The jerseys look so bad. Brad's a good player. Logo at center looks awesome. That's better than their regular logo. 100%. Kyler downfield has McBride. Got it. All right, now we're getting into territory where this needs to be Trey Benson or field goal. Missed field goal would be great. Interception would be great. A nice little throw in the bucket there. Kyler throws a heavy ball. It does not look good. It does not look good. Let's sit up here for that. Kyler 10 of 15. Kind of check down City, though. They go empty a ton. Oh, just hucking it up. Out of bounds. I like that play from the corner. One thing I always think about in games, when a receiver jumps up in the air to catch the ball, why doesn't the corner just catch it and pull him out of bounds? Like especially these receivers like 185 pounds. If you're a safety or a corner, like why not take the guy's legs and just catch it and take a step out of bounds or just pour him out of bounds? I mean, that's probably some more Madden than anything else. Yeah, Dylan, can't agree more. I think these are the best end zones ever. Better than like Tennessee, better. They're incredible. And that's what end zones should be like. It should look like Valhalla. All these Benson throwaway screens, it should be draw plays are killing me. No spillage. All right, third down. Benson's out of the game. Ryland's not a good kicker. This water bottle has this like little thing you have to like bite down. Hate it. I think we're gonna need a guest on these in the future. I feel like a bit like Cooper, astronaut, Agent Cooper in Interstellar, just talking to the void here. There's Marvin Harrison. He dropped it. Oh, he got picked. Okay. Now tackle him like inside the 50. All right, now we're in negative territory. Oh, my God, Marvin. So that's the kind of pick we didn't want. Because now, instead of it being fourth down at the 40 or 35, it's first down Seattle at the plus 40. Heck of a play to catch that, man. I like Ernest Jones. He's a good linebacker. 13, terrible linebacker number, though. I think Overshown couldn't get out of that quicker. Oh, nice, thanks. We'll repost on the stream. I gotta do that myself. Let me pump my own tires, as Roberto Luongo would say. We got 105 concurrents on here, though. It's not bad. Up to 250 views. Not bad. People want the picks. All right, we got a commercial. Let's get a pick. So, we've gone all the way down. We got to Carolina. Chargers, Giants. I mean, everybody knows where we're going here. We got the Chargers highlighted, but how big do we have the Chargers? Everybody in America is betting on the Chargers this week. It's 25-21. We have a red flag out here for the quarterback change. That should have had a coffee before this. The Chargers are going to win this game. We have a 64% probability of winning. Chargers will probably be one of the biggest survivor picks because I imagine most people have used Lions and Bills early in the season. Definitely a bunch of people got knocked with the Packers last week. I lost a pool with the Packers. Over-under projection 46.5, so nothing crazy against what the line is. Yeah, Marv, what is going on there? Bands, Chargers 21-30, Giants 14 or 15 to 25.5. I like 13.5. Get around that round number there. Giants probably kicking a couple field goals. They got Younghoe Koo playing in here. Maybe, maybe not. They have an old kicker, which I think is the dumbest thing in the world. If you have a kicker who can't stay healthy, you don't have a kicker. I think another thing on the pre-snap picks, when we have them close, like if that's when we're like, all right, you're going to have a chance at the end, which would lead you to believe like that's when you want to pick a dog. You don't have to wait for it to say the dog is going to win because obviously we're not going to predict the exact score correctly. But if we're in 2 or 3 points, the way that we get to those 2 or 3 points is going to affect the winner and the loser of the game. So if it's tight and you need a dog, that's kind of where you're going for the dog. That's why we like Carolina at 24-23. We have them winning by 1. They're a 6.5-point dog. So you could take them on the spread, or you could tease them up to 11 and really get inside that confidence interval there. That's really how we want you to use this, right? We want you to just, okay, I like this team, but where is the backup? What are we knowing, and how do we build off of that? And that's how we're going to create success down the line. NFC Game of the Week. Darnold back to pass. We got 8 minutes. We're going to go Philly Bucks. Oh, did he catch it? No, we didn't catch it. That's huge.
because I think it would have been a touchdown. If not, that stinks because that probably would have been our Charbonnet touchdown. But we don't need that in the first half. That's the second half. Torrey Horton. I got Torrey Horton in the my bad franchise fantasy draft. Like him. He's got good speed. I think he's a 95 speed. Love that. Eagles, Buccaneers, 28-23 we have for the final. I like the Eagles without the data in this game as well. We have a 75% chance probability of winning. Eagles are just a good team. They're boring, but they're good. They have the best roster in the NFL. Their coach is a jackass, but he must be a pretty good coach. Cooper Kupp, eating more of these Jackson Smith and Jigba yards. I don't love this. We need Seattle to score with like 3 minutes left to have a chance to get this first half under. Or a touchdown and miss extra point. Miss extra point would be so big for the boys. Would it? Yeah, because it'd be 13-3, and then we'd have... No, miss extra point doesn't matter. Retracted. That wasn't even Cooper Kupp. Jake Bobo. Why would they go get... I don't know. Take Philadelphia. Take the over. We have 50.7 points in that game. You can tease it down if you want. Kenneth Walker carry for little to nothing. That's what we're looking for all night, boys. Next game, Indianapolis and the Rams. We have the Colts in an upset, 26-25. PreSnap loves Danny Dimes. We have 55.7% probability of winning for the Colts. The line in the game, I think, is like 5.5. Let's see. Also, USA Ryder Cup, easy pick. But the juice is not worth the squeeze there. I mean, Europe is plus 185. It's probably more like a pick'em. So you're getting no value in the United States. Walker tackled outside. That's a good one because that's going to kill 40 seconds. He just did a first down signal. He's 5 yards short. Michigan State education for you right there. Let's go. Yeah, that Philadelphia's 3.5 line. So we like the Eagles there. Colts, 3.5 point favorites, plus 160 on the line. How about this? How about a Panthers-Colts dog parlay? Where's that going to get you? Let's see. If we go Colts at 160, we go Panthers at 185, plus 641. That could be tempting. Also, DraftKings. So you take a money line and then they give you like a player on the team to score like this. No. I want to. Yeah, I want to. The Colts win. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor is going to score, but that's how they get you. You pick the game right. Take him separately. You're still getting the same amount of juice if you're not betting anything. These taunting penalties are so weak. That guy pulled his leg, and then he pointed at him, and they called a 15-yard penalty. Huge for the first half under. Don't get me wrong. Huge. But that's horrible. I guess he threw the ball at him. That's so dumb. But then the guy clapped at him. Like, why isn't that? Back of the helmet. Oh, so nice. 3rd and 18. Give me a Charbonnet throwaway run. Oh, Charbonnet screen. Get him. Get him. Okay. 44-yard line. 61-yard field goal. Who's the kicker for the Seahawks? It's not... It's not still Jason Myers, is it? He's been there forever. So Marvin Harrison gets off the hook. Calais Campbell's on the Cardinals again? Wow. And he's a captain. Look at him. Oh, they're punting. Nothing stupid. Nothing stupid. Don't even try to catch it. Don't even try to catch it, bro. Touchback. We love it. We love it. Low-scoring game. Also, if we get 5,000 users by Thanksgiving, I'm going to quit Sins. So tell your friends. Do it for your family. Do it for my family. All right, let's see. Next game. So we just did the Colts. Now we got Jacksonville, San Francisco. San Francisco, Mac Jones, they've been winning. We have the Jags in this game. And we have the Jags by a margin of 25-21. So 3.5 point dogs. Tease them over a touchdown. We're pretty confident they're going to be within a touchdown. Their bands are 19.5 to 30.5, and the Niner bands are 16.5 to 24.8. So over half of that Jaguars band covers the top end of the 49ers band. No Nick Bosa. That defense for the 49ers, I still don't buy. They've been scraping by in these games with Mac Jones, but that's kind of what they do with Brock Purdy. They can play the same style of football. They're kind of the same quarterback. High confidence bands 13-36 and 11-29. But still, that top half band, we got a full touchdown, more of scoring potential for the Jaguars. 49ers won 16-15 on Sunday against the Cardinals here. Did the Cardinals look good to you tonight? Other than their ugly-ass jerseys? And the Jaguars beat the Texans 17-10. Jaguars. Could that be the dog leg? The dog leg. Jaguars, Colts, Panthers. Kind of like it. Kind of like it. 2 apex predators and a baby horse walk into a bar and walk out with, I think, probably a 10-1 parlay. If we go Jaguars, Colts is 550. If you then throw in the Carolina Panthers, 1752. Whoa, I just booked it. 5 to win 100. I love a 20 to 1 with a $5. That's our parlay for the night. Colts, Panthers, Jaguars. 3 road dogs. Woof. Woof, woof, woof. All right, next game, Baltimore, Kansas City. We have a timeout here. They're showing that old DK Metcalf rundown. We have Baltimore 29-25 in this game. 65.5% probability of winning. The Vegas spread for this game, these are all on DraftKings, by the way. Not because I like it better, but I do. It's the best UI. The other app, and I use Pickett to pick my lines, but I'm doing everything through here. The Ravens are 2.5-point favorites. They're minus 148 in the money line. And we have a projected total of 54 against the line of 48.5. It's 47.5. It's moved up. We like a lot of points here. Like Derrick Henry to get it back on the track. And that's a good tackle there. Julian Love. He's a good little player, Julian Love. I think he's the guy who broke Dak Prescott's ankle. So that was Logan Ryan. Dirty player, New England. Julian Edelman line of dirty football players out of New England. Mac Wilson looks like he's hurt for the Cardinals. Good for our second half Seahawks there. Incomplete pass here probably puts us in real good shape for the first half under. We get greedy and get another 1 or 2. Is that Benson? No, it's the little guy. I love when a quarterback is in the shotgun and points first down. Like, brother, you have no idea if that's a first down or not. He's 3 yards short. Cardinals gear with the throwback is awesome. Awesome. I do like teasing the dogs at the points. But I got the teaser in play. I got those guys down. I just like the 3. Those 3, if 3 people aren't going to have. I like taking dogs before Sunday because the lines go down when the Sharps start taking the dogs for the closing line. Tackle him inside the 10. Great. Special teams, special plays, special players. It's got to be like the 9 or 10 yard line. Why would you catch a punt inside the 15? It's Ohio State special teams right there. All right, with the Ravens over the Chiefs, covering, winning outright. Bears, Raiders, yuck. Another tie we have projected here. We have the Bears at a 51% probability of winning on the road. Yuck game. I like the Bears in this one, but, Tom Brady interviewed Ben Johnson last week, so they'll probably just cheat and know what they're going to run every single play. It's almost like if your former head coach from last year is the defensive coordinator playing against you, you're just going to dominate, right? I'm not upset or anything like that. All right. You know what? Before we get to this next game, those 2 Monday night games, we'll get in depth next week, but I need to relieve some stress. I can't talk about the Cowboys and the Packers. I can't do it right now. Let's see what we got. We got 4 balls. If I make all 4, maybe we have a chance. We lined up good on the camera here.
All right. Center cup. How many am I making? Little Walker TD to finish the half would be real nice. Real nice. All right. This is about a 5-footer. If I make all 4, maybe the Cowboys have a chance. We got a little left to right break. We got 1. We got 2. Darnold running. Darnold running still. Down to 31. Kill some clock. Let's get my running back some carries. All right, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back to the start. I do want to make a note that ball was not a Pro V1, so it's not gonna roll quite as true as the other ones. But we gotta accelerate through the ball, guys. See that? See that end over end action? Charbonnet carry. Okay. Yeah, let's get Dylan his first half. Kenneth Walker touchdown. We got 2. 3. Can we get the 4th to give the Dallas Cowboys a chance? This would be 7 for 8. 9 out of 10 wouldn't be bad. Yep. See, guys, we just gotta commit to a speed. When we start thinking about how hard we're gonna hit it, that's when the face deviates from the line. We can't be doing that. Got it. Alright, so they go 9 to 10. Of 11. I was in to hit the front ball. Alright, so 10 of 11. I missed the 4th one. So I have to make. We're 11 of 12 right now. Or are we 10 of 11? I think we're 10 of 11. Stroking it. I was in to hit the ball. Pockets. Okay. Alright, this is for 10 in a row to give my Cowboys a chance. Let's go. We got a chance. Let's see what PreSnap says. Do the Cowboys have a chance? Do the Cowboys have a chance? How did the stroke look, by the way? Let me know. The final game on Sunday, Cowboys-Packers. We got the Packers, 25-19. I think that's generous. 76% chance of winning for the Packers. I am taking the Packers in my survivor pool because in the other pool, they lost me last week, which really stinks. And I hate that. I hate that a lot. But I hate the Packers. I really hate the Packers. The Micah Parsons thing doesn't bother me to the Packers, but like the draft picks are going to suck. And so what bothers me about this game in particular is it's just the opportunity to get clowned on is so strong. And I don't want any part of getting clowned on by the Green Bay Packers in this game. They've done it to the Cowboys, and they just do it like without being like Aaron Jones is kind of a prick about it, but the other guys aren't like that. I just hate it. I hate it for the people. I hate it for the fans. I hope Jerry Jones gets booed out of the stadium. I hope people are throwing Diet Dr. Peppers at the box if they get smoked in this game. But as I'm one to do, I've talked myself into it being competitive. And I talked myself into a Kenny Clark revenge game. If you don't know Kenny Clark's backstory, look it up. It's crazy. Guy's been through crazy adversity. Came to the NFL at 19 years old, youngest player in the NFL. And he's been an absolute weapon. And he's been pretty good for the Cowboys. All right. 2 minutes left in the half. We have our picks on the board there. Screenshot, save them, or get the PreSnap app. Actually, don't screenshot, don't save them. Download the PreSnap app. It's so easy to make life better, to get me closer to quitting Zins. Just go to the App Store, download the PreSnap app, send it to your friends, download it on your girlfriend's phone, download it on your wife's phone, download it on your dog's phone, your wife's boyfriend's phone, whatever you got to do. Get it going. My Amazon Prime stream just went out. Do you think they know I'm streaming? Did I sit on my remote? Oh, no, we got it back. All right, 2nd and 8.
Darnold under center, Charbonnet the lone back. Fakes it to him, rolls out to the right side. Barner gets caught in the end zone. He throws it towards the end zone. Pass interference on the 1, incomplete pass. Could this be what we need, Mr. Tyrer? Could this be what we need? You need Walker, I need Charbonnet. But you need first half Walker. Because you're a PreSnap Pro user, I'm going to give you it here. And I'll let Kenneth Walker score this touchdown. Even though I think you're in the DraftKings group and probably saw that I took Charbonnet. And the reason I took Charbonnet is because I take Walker a lot. Walker, Jonathan Taylor, guys I like, Kyron Williams, guys I take all the time. This game sucks. All right. Charbonnet's the lone back, or in the eye. Got a guy with an afro playing fullback. Darnold hands it off. Charbonnet tripped. Charbonnet down at the 1. That's going to be great for the first half over. Do they give Dylan his Kenneth Walker touchdown? I'm going to play a little song for Micah Parsons. I heard that you like Green Bay, but it's cold as shit, and their jerseys rhyme with hay. I heard that you think you'll win, and you will win, 'cause Jerry sucks, and Darnold's rolling out, throws the end zone, incomplete. Let's go. I hate that you're out of the blue, it sucks, but Packers colors suck. I hope somebody gets hurt, and not because I want anybody to get hurt, but just because, for me, I need a better pair. Never mind, I'll wait till Jerry Jones is done. There's nothing but the best. I'm sure he had fun. I want to forget my whole Charbonnet in the end zone. Let's go. I'm sorry, Dylan. I'm sorry. But that's what we're talking about. It's the power of music, guys. School rock. We got a minute to sweat out the Cardinals not scoring a touchdown or Kyler Murray throwing a pick 6. How good is that? How good is that? That's great. I didn't even have to get to the Adele. Could have done it if I needed to, though. Could have done it if I needed to. All right. Got the extra point. 1 minute left to sweat. 1 minute to sweat here, boys. Charbonnet in the hole. Are we going to get Jackson Smith and Jigba to 80 yards? I don't think so. What does he have, 10 yards? This is bad. Bad. First half under, though. Keep these rushing carries up. And the rushing one, we have Charbonnet's at 8. Kenneth's at 12. Benson needs 10 in the second half. Hate that. Jackson Smith and Jigba, no catches. No receiving yards. He does have a catch. I like our chances better on the 25-1 than I do on the 18-1, for sure. I like them a lot. Kenneth Walker, great player, but they don't give him the ball inside the red zone. They just refuse to. We got Charbonnet. Benson second half, maybe, if the Cardinals can ever get the ball in the red zone. Probably had a good chance in that last one. Got 300 views on the X app. Thanks for joining, folks. Much appreciated. We are sweating out with all 130 of you here live. I have under 20.5 in a separate bet by itself. For a full unit, which would be nice. The long shot parlay, if we could get Trey Benson 10 second half rushing, like maybe we can get Trey Benson two or three cheapies on this drive. Because Charbonnet and Walker are going to hit. Walker's at 8, Charbonnet's at 8. Kyler needs 4 more, which in the second half, if they're trailing, might get. But I don't know about Benson getting over 12, 14. I wanted to take it down to 10, but it was like minus 500. It sucks. That sucks. But we did pre-snap recap give you first half under. If you got the preview today. Pre-snap preview, sorry. The problem with the rivalry jersey thing is, like, why aren't the Seahawks wearing rivalry jerseys in this game? Why aren't they wearing those blue throwbacks? The best uniforms in the NFL. Tackle him. Okay. Down to 26. We have 50 seconds. Cardinals have 2 timeouts. Josh Sweat from the Eagles. Kind of gave up on that play. Or did he get hurt? Bro, they got a defensive end wearing number 27? Oh, Josh Sweat, dude. You got to get in on that tackle. Calais Campbell's giving him an earful. All right, Kyler, let's get a couple runs or just a kneel down. Oh, my God. I like Kyler Murray. I watched him play in high school. He was electric. He's not the guy. Like, he's not winning a Super Bowl at all. And every year, like, he gets further from that, I think. God, that guy, Love, is going to be killing himself for dropping that. Killing himself for dropping that. The Marvin Harrison Kyler thing is bad. Can I throw something out there? And I don't think they could do it salary cap wise. But could I talk Cincinnati Bengals fans into trading a second round pick for Kyler Murray? Kind of is the right quarterback for that offense. Could move a little, change things up. Would it, he's used to running for his life. Although the Cardinals have a good offensive line. I'm very happy with Clayton Adams, their offensive line coach, now the OC in Dallas. Screen to Dortch. He put him in the Dortcher chamber. Oh, he got stuck up. 38 seconds. Tick, tick, tick. Field goal before half here wouldn't hurt. Would not hurt. Get us to 20, right on that line. Cardinals take a really weak timeout, in my opinion. Niners Rams, little NFC West run here on Thursday Night Football. That's a good one. Purdy might be back for that. Isn't it crazy too? Purdy and Burrow have the same injury, but Purdy's wasn't bad enough to need surgery, so he's back week 5, and Burrow is out for another season. Murray sacked. Take that clock off. Don't take your time out. Let's just get to the half. We're up 14-3. We love where we're at with our Seattle pick. Kyler's going hurry-up offense. He's got his shoulder pad out. The worst jerseys I've ever seen. Go, rush. There we go. There's a Kyler run, slide. All right, just take a knee. That was a nice little bonus Kyler rush there. We're up to 3. Call timeout. Throw your Hail Mary. They did. They called a timeout. Look at these Cardinals fans, dude. The Cardinals have been bad since they went to the Super Bowl. Like, literally, that was the last time they were good. I guess they were good with Carson Palmer, but you have to be just rip shit with. Man. I liked the Cardinals. I took the Cardinals, I think, to win the NFC West in a division parlay. Gross football, man.
You have to think it's the quarterback. Like, yuck. Mike McDonald with the tucked-in shirt with the sweatpants is a bad look. He's calling his timeout now. Love when a coach has extra timeouts and uses them at the end here. Like, there's no reason to really call a timeout there other than just giving your boys a break and rallying up. But we love it. So, as we recap here, last play of the first half, unless this is a touchdown, and maybe this would be a great clip of me losing the first half under, but we have, for the week, Seattle tonight, Minnesota, Washington, Buffalo, Detroit, Houston, Carolina, Chargers, Eagles, Colts, Jaguars, Ravens, Bears, Green Bay, Miami, Denver, and maybe the worst Monday night doubleheader in the history of sports. They're hoping for a pass interference here. I'm hoping for a draw to Benson, but I don't think that's even Benson in the backfield. Give me a Kyler run. They do a screen. Tackled. First half under. Thanks for joining us on the Tully Cast here, brought to you by PreSnap. If you haven't already, please download the PreSnap app. We're trying to get this thing running. We've had great success. 34-13. And if things hold tonight, we'll be 35-13 by the end. But there's a lot of football left to play. Under first half hits. Charbonnet on the board. Second half, we need Benson. We need Jackson Smith and Jigba to put his jersey on. And we're getting pretty close in that Kenneth Walker one, too. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate everybody who hopped in tonight. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you next week for Rams and 49ers. And then we're going to do some Monday Night Football. After that, I just don't think anybody is going to watch Monday Night Football with Dolphins, Jets, and Denver and the Bengals. Thanks for having it. We'll see you next week. We'll get the screen running better. We won't be doing it off an iPad. And we'll get the chat parlay built at lunchtime next Thursday. Thanks for joining us. Pre-snap to the moon. Know what's coming. Pre-snap picks.